everyone, my name is Malvika Gupta and today we are going to discuss a sorting algorithm, bubble sort. In this video, I am going to cover these contents: introduction, example through which you will be able to understand the working of bubble sort, summary. As per the exam point of view also, you will get some questions like you will be given some sort of, the list of elements and then they'll ask you to perform the concept of bubble sort, and after doing that you need to summarize that how we have got this output. Then after summary, I'll help you in writing the pseudocode so that it will be useful for you to write the code in any of the programming language. Time complexity will be going to calculate, and then at last I will be showing you how to write the code for bubble sort in C language. So let's begin with the introduction. The name of the sorting technique is bubble sort. Now, before starting with why it has been named as bubble, we should first understand what we mean by sorting. Sorting means arrangement of elements in either in ascending or descending, right? So if you have got, if it is not written for you that yes, you have to arrange these elements in descending order, then by default the order will be ascending. So always remember this part. Now the question arises, why it is called bubble sort? It has been named after the concept of bubble. If you have seen, you all know about what is bubble. So bubble means the bubble has been very light, or we can say that it is lighter or it is less denser than the water. So it always appear at the surface of the water. So in the same way, in the case of bubble sort, all the lightweight elements should appear from the first index and the heaviest weight element should appear at the last index. This is why it is called bubble sort. Bubble sort is always performed in passes and steps. It means that at the end of every pass, at the end of every pass, each heavyweight element, if I am doing it in ascending order, heavyweight element is to be fixed at its position. And again, we are not going to check for the next pass. We are not going to take that particular element at all for the process. So for this, let's discuss about how to use this bubble sort. I'm going to tell you this using an example. So suppose I have got this. This is my array. This is an array which I have selected. I'm taking only an array of 4 elements. Suppose this is a list of elements. This is already in the descending order. Okay, let's take it like this. Let me remove this one and this one. Let's fix it in this 3, 4, 2. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I think I have not supposed to tell you that these are the names A0, A1, A2. The name of my array is A. So 0th index. So every time you will be accessing any element, you will be accessing it using A0. One more thing which I need to tell you, that if you see this is A0, and is there any difference between this one and this one? For A0, the value will be 3. For A0 plus 1, it means that you are incrementing by 1 in the index. So it will become A of 1 and it will give you the value for 4. This is A0. A0 means 3 plus 1. It is going to give you value 4. It is accessing the value at A of 1, but this is giving you after manipulation value as 4. So always remember this, because this is we are going to use in the concept in this bubble sort, right? So now let's start with this one. For every pass, for pass number 1, this is my input array. 3, 4, 2, and 1. 0, 1, 2, 3. Because I'm going to arrange this in ascending order. So if there is any element which is larger than this element, then I will be performing swapping. Okay. So how it is going to happen? Then I will be comparing these 2 elements first. So in step 1, if you see, I'm going to compare this according to this particular section, that if my first element, okay, at first index is greater than the element at the second index. So I'm going to swap the positions, exchange these positions. So 3 is greater than 4, condition is false. So if it is false, then there is no change and I will be writing it in the same. Okay. 2, 3. Now my pointer will move to my, I will be traversing to next value, and from 1 I will be accessing this 2 also. I will be comparing these two values. So step 2, what will happen now in step 2? If you see, then it is here, 4 is greater than 2, right? So 4 is greater than 2, condition is true. So what will happen? It will be like this one. We'll perform swap 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now step 3, what will happen in step 3? I will be comparing this with this. So 4 is greater than 1. Yes, 4 is greater than 1. It means condition is true. So I will be writing 3, 2, 1, and 4. So it will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now you can see that there is no any other element present. So I will not be performing any other comparison. I'll stop it over here. It means that you will be only comparing for n minus 1, not for total, because I have just made the comparison 1, 2, and 3. Although I have the elements 4. So it means in the first pass you have made only n minus 1 comparisons. Always remember this. That's because we have to. So n minus 1 comparisons only we have made. Right? So now at the end of this pass 1, we have got the element 4 fixed, as I told you in the introduction also. And it gets fixed at the position. So now my array left is this one. I have to check for or run this entire thing for this these three elements. So again, step 1. So I'll be comparing these two elements. So if you see that, yes, true. 3 is greater than 2. Yes, it is true. It means that I have to exchange the positions. So 4 is fixed. I'm not going to check this one. 3. I'm writing it over here. Please check from here. Step 2 for pass 2. If you see 3 and 1. 3 is greater than 1. Yes, it is again true. So 2, 1, 3, and 4. It is already fixed. So I'm not going to compare it with here. I'm going to fix it over here because this is the original position for 3. It is the expected position for 3, right? So now you see that we have just made only 2 comparison. Although I have number of elements as 4, so it means I have made only 2 comparison. It means for this I need to perform n minus 2 comparisons. Okay, I'm talking about comparisons. Now if you go with pass 3, because still 2 elements are left, we have to go through all these passes or steps until and unless we have only 1 element left. Because for comparison, at least 2 elements are required, and to stop the comparison, we only left with 1 element. So now you compare it with this one. If you see, sorry, I am writing it over here. 3, 4, this is the input array for pass number 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. I'll be comparing it with this. Now if you see 2 is greater than 1, yes, condition is true. So if it is true, I will be swapping the positions. 2, 3, 4, it is like this. 0, 1, 2, 3. No need to compare it with here. So it means I'm going to fix this one. But if you see from here also that only 1 element is left and this element cannot be compared with itself. So it means there's no other element left. So I'm going to fix this also. So if you see for pass 3, only one comparison we made. So it means it is n minus 3 and at last it went to 1. So it shows that this is the concept of bubble sort. Okay. Now if I summarize this one, now you remember this each and every step. This is I'm writing number of elements from where I have started. It was 4. Number of passes, if you see, because elements were 4, but if you see pass 1, pass 2, and pass 3, it means number of passes is 3. So in general terms, I can say if number of elements is equal to n, then number of passes will be equal to n minus 1. So it shows that because now we have tried to implement it also. Now if you see that it is running like that in passes, I am using steps, and in steps I am doing comparison. And if comparison is true, then I am performing swapping, right? So if you can see pass, inside pass a step is there and 1, 2, 3 repeated steps are performing. Then for pass 2, again the repeated step. It means we have to make loop for these two. we have to take, and for this one, if condition is required, and for swapping only, the statements are required. So how I am going to write? I am going to write for loop for this one to passes. So it will go from 0 to n minus 1. I hope this is understood, because we have started with this one. Because for 4 elements, I took, if I write 0 to 4, then it shows, if I write this for loop like this, see, p equals to 0, p is less than n, p plus plus, then how much it will go? It will go for 0, 1, 2, and 3, 4 times. But passes has to go only for 3 times. So what I am going to write? N minus 1. I hope you have understood this. Now I'm summarizing it like this. P I am representing, denoting for passes, S is for steps, and N is for number of elements. So if you see, there are 3 passes, so I'm writing it over here. If you see from here, for pass 1, we have 3 steps. For pass 2, we have 2 steps. And for pass 3, we have 1 step. So write this, I'm going to write it 1, 3, 2, 2, and 3, 1. If you add these two things, then it will be 4. It is 4 and it is 4. It means I can write it mathematically like this, that my number of elements is equals to number of passes plus number of steps in a particular state, right? Steps. So now from here you can see that we have got number of elements, we know already. Passes we can identify using this number of elements. So what left? N minus p, number of steps in loop. So I have deduced this from here. Okay, mathematically directly we can do this. There's no concept in this. Directly we can put the formula, or we can take it from the other side, right? Now again the question arises, because for steps also we need loop. Okay, and if you can see from here, steps also only the 3 times you are performing these steps, although the number of elements is 4. So because this is an array, we will be starting this passes as 0. If I put S equals to n minus p, it means 4 minus 0. So it will be 4. So first time, this number of steps will be 4. 0, 1, 2, and 3. But here you can see the number of steps are 3. Okay, because you will be starting like this only, you will be writing 0 to n minus p, right? So if you write it like this, 0 to 4. So 0 to 4 means 0, 1, 2, and 3. It will be like this as per the loop, because you will be writing the loop like this. S equals to 0, S is less than n minus p, S plus plus, right? So now you see 4 types. No, I don't need it. Although I can run it also, but it doesn't find a good solution, an efficient solution, just to run it unnecessarily. So I'm just going to avoid this by putting minus 1, so that it will run till 3. So it will run till 0, 1, 2. As for this one, we have only 3 steps. Okay, I hope you have understood that how I'm going to write. Fine. So let's write the pseudocode for this one, so that it will be easy for you to understand and write this code in any programming language. Bubble sort. For this, I need an array, n number of elements. Begin. Input an array. A of n. I'm just applying for loop, which is for p, 0 to n minus 1 do. In this, a loop for steps, which is 0 to n minus p minus 1 do. So n is for capital. Sorry, I should write like this. In this, I'm going to perform if condition, right? So if says if a is s is greater than a of s plus 1, then directly I will be performing swapping between a of s comma a of s plus 1. And at the end of this one, I'm going to print the sorted array, which is a of n, and fifth is stop your. So this is the pseudo code which you can use for this one, right? So with the help of the pseudo code and with this example, if I can make you understand that we can calculate the time complexity also. This is the recurrence relation. If you see, every time I am moving ahead, I have to make less than one less comparison. Okay, so first of all, my number of elements was n, but the comparison I have to make is n minus 1. Second time, because one element has been fixed to its original position, then my number of comparison will become n minus 2. Then again it will become n minus 3, and gradually it goes to up to 1. So this is actually the number of comparisons representing, and this is the formula of n into n minus 1 by 2, which is n square minus n by 2, which is then is order of n square. So this is the time complexity for bubble sort, and it runs for n square in both worst case and best case. So now let's move to the code, how to do that code. So this is where here I am going to perform this or write this code for you. Okay, so this is in C language. So let's write it. Hash include stdio.h, void main or int main, anything whichever you want, you can take an array. I'm going to take ns, or sorry, of 10 size. N, I, P, N, S, and a temp variable I'm going to take just for the swapping. I'm going to write it. So first of all, I'm going to take the size from the user, enter the number of elements, how many elements the user wanted to enter. %n. Okay, and then printf, enter the array elements. So let's enter the array elements. Array will be entered like this. I hope everybody knows this. I is equal to 0, I is less than ni plus plus. Scanf, because this is only a single statement, so I am not using the curly braces. I'm just writing it directly. This is the way how we enter the array. Now it's time for directly applying sorting concept. So I'm doing this. P equals to 0. P is less than n minus 1, because this we have already find out that how to do this. For s equals to 0, s is less than n minus p minus 1. Sorry, s plus plus. And then in this, I have to perform the comparison. So comparison will be in between a of s is greater than a of s plus 1. I hope you have understood this concept. Now, for swapping, I'm doing using third variable, a of s, semicolon, a of s is equal to a of s plus 1, and a of s plus 1 equals to 10, right? Then again, this is the end, this is it, right? So I will be writing the sorted array, printf the sorted array, which will be /n, and for I equals to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, and printf %d, comma, a of I. So now we can see, we can check from here that what will be the output. So let me do this one. Okay, now also number of elements are these many. So let's see, 4 elements I have taken. So 3, 4, 2, and 1. So the sorted array is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So that's how we have got the output. I hope you have understood the concept of bubble sort. So this is the pseudo code, the summary, which is very important. For exam point of view, also you can get the this kind of question. Time complexity, how to calculate the time complexity every time the comparisons are going reducing by 1. So it's like this. So